Hi, Azzi. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm with WDVM down in the DMV. Just wanted to ask today, obviously so many great DMV players have been, making waves in basketball this postseason as usual. What does it mean to you to be on this huge stage, representing your home area, representing St. John's, DC, your family, everybody down here?
It means a lot. I mean, this year has been crazy for me, not playing to playing. So I'm just excited to be, this is my first year, my first NCAA tournament. So I'm excited to be here and I'm excited to rep for the DMV back home, but I'm just excited to be in this position and be able to play.
Quick follow-up. What do you think that moment's going to be like, to take the court for your first ever Final Four? I'm sure something you've dreamed of. What's it going to be like to actually be out there doing it?
It's something I have dreamed of, and all of these games, Elite Eight, Sweet 16, they've all been crazy and pretty surreal. So I'm really just excited. I let myself kind of like just look at everything, look at the crowd, look at the court, the opponent for a second, just kind of realize like the situation I'm in and how lucky I am to be in this situation. But then I gotta lock in and remember what I'm here for, to get the job done.
Awesome. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you. Mike.
Thanks. Hi, Azzi. I'm just wondering if you could explain what it's like to get acclimated to a new program over the course of a year, and maybe in particular your first few months with the program as you're building relationships with upperclassmen. Do you have to be mindful of the fact that you've gotten so much attention even before coming to UConn? Does that make it tricky at all to blend in?
Not really. I kind of thought about that when I first came, but all the upperclassmen are amazing, and they all they don't really look at the social media stuff. They form their own opinion once you get here and you meet them. So they've all been really great as soon as I've stepped on campus. But I think it definitely has been an adjustment for a few months, kind of just like learning the offense, learning like the different coaching styles, but you get adjusted quick. You don't really have any other choice. And at a certain point, it all kind of clicks for you. That's what happened with me.
Thanks.
Hey, Azzi. Darren Haynes, Channel 9. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Just to kind of follow up on the question you mentioned about the DMV stuff. You're really the only DMV player left. So that's in this Final Four. So like, what does that mean to you, kind of putting that DMV on your back and representing?
It means a lot, especially, just watching the games building up to this. So many great players playing. Jakia had an amazing game the other night. But like you said, being one of the only ones still playing in the Final Four, it means a lot to me. But I think it just goes to show kind of like what growing up in that area and playing in that area has done for me, that great competition. It's gotten me ready for this. Katie?
Hi, Azzi. So you and Paige are really close, and I'm wondering for you, like, as she's come back from this injury, you're somebody who also knows what it's like to not just have one serious injury, but have like compounding injuries. Like Paige had that surgery on her ankle, and then she goes out with a knee. You had your ACL, MCL, and then you had foot injuries in subsequent months. So for you, how have you been there to support her? What does that look like?
I think the biggest thing was kind of at the beginning when it seems like your world has come to an end. She didn't really know what was in store for her, not just like with surgery, but then playing. Like, we kind of just had to look at it like maybe you won't play this season, but I was there kind of just to remind her of the little things, like the small stepping stones that you kind of look over. So kind of like small obstacles, like small things. What's the word for like small, small milestones for her to kind of look forward to, instead of looking at the big picture, like, oh, it's so long till I'm gonna get to play. So just reminding her that like she's doing great, and like where she is, wherever she was in her recovery, like she's doing better than the average person was, like reminding her that she's still Paige Beckers, that kind of thing. So just keeping her spirits high.
Awesome. And just one more quick follow-up. I know that everybody talks about how Paige is from this area, but you've got Minnesota ties too. And so what does it mean for you to play, not just in your first Final Four, but in a city and a state that you also know really well and have good memories in?
This is like my second home, so I am also very excited to be here. And I'm also just excited to be here now. I mean, if I heard a family member or a friend say one more time, like, I can't wait to see you in Minneapolis, I'm like, please, we need to get there first. But I'm super excited. I've gotten so many texts and stuff saying like they're coming to the game. So I'm excited to have a huge fan base and family fan base here. But I think it just adds to how special this moment's going to be.
Thank you.
Carl?
Azzi, 8 of the 12 players from the U17 team that you played on are in the Final Four. Can you talk about the relationships you built, and maybe in particular with Haley Jones and Aaliyah Boston, since when they took their official visits to UConn, you made a trip up here to be there with them?
I think that kind of just goes to show that team was incredible. I was one of the most fun I've had playing on the USA basketball team. But I've kept in touch. I remember last year I came to the Final Four and I texted almost all of them just saying like, especially the Stanford girls, I texted them last year. But I would say we've definitely kept in touch, and it's just like, I'm excited as a friend, I'm excited to see how well they're doing. And as a competitor, I'm excited to get to play them at this level.
Thank you.
Ben?
Hey, Azzi. How has your relationship with Paige kind of grown over the course of this season? Are there things about her that you learned and didn't know, or qualities about her that you've kind of taken particular note of that maybe you kind of didn't recognize or weren't aware of before?
I think our relationship has grown a lot more on the floor, just because we've only had those 2 USA basketball experiences a while ago. So getting to actually play with her, and not just like a 1-month type of ordeal, getting to actually play with her, I've gotten to learn a lot more about her, and I think I've grown to appreciate our relationship a lot more, just because like all the things I've learned from her this year on the floor, just like her coaching me like when she was out, even just in the summer, her giving me tips and just little pointers here and there on things that, but I'm really grateful for it. So I think it's really grown in the basketball aspect.
What are some of those things that you feel like she's taught you or that you picked up on from her specifically?
Just reads. Like at the beginning of the year when I wouldn't say struggling, but it was a new offense. I was still trying to figure it out, and she would give me some pointers like, just relax. And even now she'll still tell me, like, she'll see me like getting nervous or overthinking. She's like, relax, don't overthink, just shoot the ball. Like, I'm gonna get you a good look, those sort of things.
And then we'll finish up with Darren.
Crazy. Just one more quick one. Like on the men's tournament, there's 6 DMV guys and 4 are from like Paul the Six. What can you say about the DMV and why like the basketball talent is so good? You know, obviously like Kiki Rice, who's Gatorade Player of the Year, and Sidwell Friends. What can you say about the DMV?
I mean, I knew this all along growing up, how good it was. I mean, you're in that environment playing, and even just getting to watch the guys in high school, like, I'm pretty close with Jeremy and Trevor. I've texted them a couple of times, but like, I'm just super excited to see them doing so well. I mean, it means a lot just seeing them in high school, seeing them play and win WCAC championships there, to now also being in the Final Four, competing for a national championship. So I just think that's pretty cool, getting to see the progression firsthand. But there's so much talent in that area, and I think a lot of people know it. It's not really overlooked, but I think talent attracts talent, and I think it's a lot of fun to play against.